Welcome back, everyone. We have a really interesting decision just ruled by the Supreme Court in regards to Social Security, supplemental security income, and disability benefits. I'm really curious to hear your opinion on this ruling. What are your thoughts on it? And do you believe the Supreme Court was correct in their decision? We'll be talking about it all in today's video. I want to get started and jump right in. But before we do, as always, make sure you folks do a couple things for me. Number one, give this video a tremendous thumbs up. Smash the like button. If this video gets to 500 likes, we will do a cash giveaway where we give away $100 to a few of you lucky subscribers. So if you have been enjoying the content, give the video a tremendous thumbs up. And if you have not already, of course, make sure that you are subscribed. Click that big red button and have notifications turned on. That bell will actually notify you every single solitary time we do post a brand new video. We post new updates every single week on this channel with no exceptions and no excuses. And we'll be doing another cash giveaway when we do hit 20,000 subscribers. You'll have to be subscribed to be entered in that giveaway, and it could be right around the corner at the pace we're going. So with that being said, let's get started and get right down to it. So what exactly is going on here? Well, just this week, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld a 1972 federal law that denies benefits to specific residents. This decision was a foregone conclusion. It was an 8-1 ruling, and it would deny supplemental security income benefits to specific residents in the United States. They are U.S. residents. The court's decision means that Congress is not obligated to extend benefits to Puerto Rican residents even though they are U.S. citizens. This is because by law, these benefits are only available to people in the 50 states and the District of Columbia. It does not violate the Constitution, and it's because residents of Puerto Rico don't pay all federal taxes. The ruling was also indirectly tied to a series of Supreme Court opinions in 1901, known as the Insular Cases, that held, among other things, that citizens of certain American-held territories were not entitled to all rights of citizenship. The lone dissent in this case came from Justice Sonia Sotomayor, and it's no surprise that this was personal for her because her parents were born in Puerto Rico. I'm curious if you believe there was any bias from that decision from Justice Sotomayor, or do you believe she was correct? In its deliberations, the court concluded that the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution did not require Congress to extend SSI benefits to Puerto Rico, a change that a lower appeals court had ruled in favor of in 2021. The U.S. Justice Department under former President Donald Trump originally appealed the lower court's opinion. The Biden administration continued that appeal while urging Congress to officially extend SSI benefits to Puerto Rico. So you have this dynamic here where you have a dichotomy of opinion. You have the Supreme Court, which is vastly not in favor of extending the benefits, but the Biden administration is attempting to appeal to Puerto Rican residents by urging the Supreme Court to do the opposite. Justice Brett Kavanaugh was the one that delivered the official opinion of the court. He was, of course, appointed by President Trump under the Trump administration at the time, and Justice Sotomayor did not go without expressing her own opinions. In fact, she called it utterly irrational to deny SSI benefits to Puerto Rican residents because they don't pay enough in taxes, given the purpose of the program, and said that Congress's decision to deny them a social safety net it provides to nearly all other U.S. citizens is, quote, especially cruel given those citizens' dire need for aid. She continued and wrote, quote, in my view, there is no rational basis for Congress to treat needy citizens living anywhere in the United States so differently from others. To hold otherwise, as the court does, is irrational and antithetical to the very nature of the SSI program and the equal protection of citizens guaranteed by the Constitution. Also strongly critical of the ruling by the Supreme Court was the governor of Puerto Rico, Pedro Pierluisi, and he lambasted the court's decision and said that it underscores the need for Puerto Rico to be granted statehood. He also cited a previous Supreme Court case in his statement saying, quote, the decision of the Supreme Court in the case of Velo Madero on the Supplemental Security Income Program proves once again that the territorial status of Puerto Rico is discriminatory for all American citizens on the island and allows Congress to do whatever they want with us. Now, the decision to grant statehood to Puerto Rico has also been a divisive issue for Puerto Rican residents themselves. He said, "Clearly our people, particularly the most vulnerable, suffer the consequences of this unequal treatment under the American flag. Enough of this colonial status that discriminates against us and affects our quality of life." Now, I'm curious on your opinion on that topic as well. Do you believe that Puerto Rico should be granted statehood? In the case that they were, I would imagine that the Constitution would then have to uphold the fact that benefits would have to be extended to those residents. This case that was put before the High Court arose out of a claim for SSI benefits, believe it or not, by Jose Luis Velo Madero, who is a U.S. citizen that was born in Puerto Rico, who moved from New York in 1985. Velo Madero began receiving the payments in 2012 after suffering an illness, but became ineligible after moving from New York to Puerto Rico in 2013. The federal government, though, continued these monthly SSI payments as it was unaware that he had moved, but after learning of the payments Velo Madero had received while living in Puerto Rico, the government sued him to recover the $28,000 it said he received in error. Velo Madero, though, argued that the exclusion of Puerto Rico residents from the SSI program by Congress was unconstitutional. Velo Madero was actually successful in the lower courts, but the Supreme Court reversed the decision of the First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, with Kavanaugh writing that two earlier decisions from the High Court dictated its result. Kavanaugh expressed his view and said, quote, "In our view, this court's precedents, in addition to the constitutional text and historical practice discussed above, established that Congress may distinguish the territories from the states in tax and benefits programs such as the Supplemental Security Income Program, so long as Congress has a rational basis for doing so." But of course, everyone else criticizing this ruling says that there is no rational basis for this decision. And it didn't just stop at federal benefits. In fact, the court's 8-member majority further warned that a decision in favor of Velo Madero would, quote, "usher in potentially far-reaching consequences, as lawmakers would have to extend many other federal benefits programs to residents of the 5 U.S. territories." So it's not just a matter of disability, SSI, Social Security benefits, but what they're saying is if we do this, then it's going to create a domino effect, and that would mean we have to extend all benefits and other federal programs to non-U.S. citizens, at least not on U.S. territory. But in Justice Brett Kavanaugh's defense, he's actually implying that this is a positive for the residents of Puerto Rico. His thinking is that the residents of the 50 states would then call for federal taxes to be imposed on residents of Puerto Rico and other territories, which he said, quote, would impose, quote, "significant financial burdens on Puerto Rico residents and have, quote, serious implications for their economy." So many people flock to Puerto Rico to avoid federal taxes and other tax benefits. And so if we were to allow them these benefits, well, then it's basically they're going to be just like another U.S. state, and people are going to be very upset. The residents are going to have to now pay these taxes that they have never paid in their entire lifetimes. Kavanaugh was vehement in his statement, adamant that the answer is no. And I'm really curious, I'm eagerly waiting to hear your folks' opinion on this decision. Do you believe it is just? Do you believe that it is fair that the residents of Puerto Rico do not have access to these benefits because they don't pay all federal taxes? Do you think that they should be extended to these residents because they're on U.S. territory? I'm super curious. This will definitely be a divisive discussion, to say the least. I'm sure there's going to be other litigations in the lower courts in the U.S. We'll be sure to update you guys if there's any headway or progress made as far as this discourse. And I'm also curious to see what will happen with President Biden and the Biden administration continuing to press and urge the Supreme Court, because we have that dichotomy as well. So we will see what happens. It's certainly an interesting topic, but more news is to come. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got value out of it. If you did, give it a tremendous thumbs up, smash the like button, get the word out, spread it on social media, and if you want to see more content, make sure you are subscribed. Click that big red button and have notifications turned on as well. If you want to get some free stocks, all on me, all free, use the links down below in the description of this video. Sign up with the brokerage platforms Robinhood and or Webull. You'll actually get some free stocks, some of them valued up to thousands of dollars in some cases, so let us know what stocks you get. And if you want to connect me on social media, I am on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, the links are down below in the description. Connect with me across all social media platforms. I look forward to connecting with you guys there, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care for now.